Hey guys, my name is Andrew Danis, and today I'm going to show you how to dial in a screaming vocal with Joey Sturgis Tones, Gain Reduction 2. This song is called Horizon, off the Horizon EP by Glen Thomas. This is the song that I did vocals for. So let's just hear what the finished sound was that I got. Alright, there we go. So just to kind of walk you through my full chain here, let's do some basic subtractive EQ before we hit gain reduction. Do a little bit after, and then a limiter to kind of tame a couple more peaks on the end, and then JST side widener to give me some stereo width to the vocal. And then I'm sending this over to a delay here, just to give it a nice, well-rounded vocal sound. So to walk you through the plugin, we have a couple buttons here. Looks like a lot, but it's very, very, very straightforward. Power is just, bypass the plugin on or off. Light or heavy mode is the compression algorithm that the plugin's using. So light seems to be more suited for clean singing or clean vocals. And then heavy seems a little bit more aggressive and better for screams and in-your-face type of stuff. The in knob is just your input gain that you're feeding into the plugin. There's a cool feature in Gain Reduction 2 that lets you shift, double click it to calibrate the input. And the way I think it works is it just takes like an average of the input over a certain amount of time, and then tries to give you, your best mathematical guess on like how that input should be driven, how loud it should be. Then your gain, your output knob, here's your output gain knob, which is how much signal you want to be pushing out of the plugin. And over to warmth. Warmth is essentially almost kind of like a saturation knob, is what it sounds like to me. So again, you got to be careful with this one. Dial it too much, you'll definitely hear that you went overkill with it. But there's usually a sweet spot in here that gives you that perfect amount of saturation to your vocal. And then over all the way on the right here, we have air. This is like almost a high shelf EQ boost, around 10 to 12K or up. It's typical, you have an EQ, put that setting on, put it up a couple dBs, and it gives you that nice crispy, airy, light sound. This is great because you can do it in this plugin without having to throw something else extra on it. Same with the sibilance knob here. This is essentially a de-esser. Again, perfect that I can dial it in here in this plugin and not have to waste another plugin spot putting a de-esser on there. Next below that, we have body. This is controlling, I guess, like that dynamic low to mid frequency of your voice specifically. So for me, I feel like this helps a lot because I feel like my voice can be a little weak in that regard, and this adds that extra like low mid stuff that gives me just like beefiness to my voice, which is perfect. Breath is a de-breather essentially. There's a few plugins out there that do it. Most of the time, ideally, you want to have your track cleaned up as much as possible to take out those breaths at the beginning of a vocal and stuff like that. But if you don't, or if it's somewhere kind of in a weird spot where it doesn't sound natural to like fade it or take it out, you can use that to like dial that in and just remove that breath sound or bring it down a little bit. The slay knob is just adjusting the amount of compression, 0 to 100% that you want to have in your signal here. Then clarity is like dynamic control over some of the harsher resonances in your voice. Also, again, perfect for me. I have a lot of weird, you can tell by how much like subtractive EQ I do in my chain here, that there's a lot of like weird frequencies that I don't like that I have to be very nitpicky about pulling out. And I find like having this thing past 50% to 100% like cleans up a lot of that stuff still for me as well. So let's just play the vocal before and after, I guess raw and then dry, I'm sorry, wet, I should say, wet and dry. And then I'm gonna start it from 0. I'll just like reset the plugin as if you were gonna get it out of the box yourself at home, and then show you how I dialed in the sound that we got here. So lower vocal, take it off.
My soul and thoughts are beginning anew to feel again. And again the last been left in no shadow to be forgotten. Fleeting emotions of despair replaced by hope.
Let's reset our plugin here to 0. We're reset and let's get started. Clock starts now.
My soul and thoughts are beginning anew to feel again. The darkened veil has been lifted. No shadow to be forgotten. Fleeting emotions of despair replaced by hope. Intrepid voices persuade me like a point to the property. My soul and thoughts are beginning anew to feel property. My soul and thoughts are beginning anew to feel again. The darkened veil has been lifted. No shadow to be forgotten. Fleeting emotions of despair replaced by hope. Intrepid voices persuade me like a point to the property. My soul and thoughts are beginning anew to feel again.
Alright, so solo, that sounds pretty good. Let's flip in the full thing with the full mix and see what we got.
My soul and thoughts are beginning anew to feel again. The darkened veil has been lifted. No shadow to be forgotten. Fleeting emotions of despair replaced by hope. Voices persuade me like a point to the property.
All right, there we go. That sounds good to me. I did that in what, maybe a minute, less than a minute. So that just shows you how quickly you can dial in a great sounding scream with Joey Sturgis Tones Gain Reduction 2. Again, my name is Andrew Danis. I do vocals over at youtube.com/Andrew Danis. If you like what you hear, I hope you guys found this video informative, and happy mixing.